So I would like now to ask on David to take the lead and do a conclusion remarks and open the discussion.
Yes, thank you very much. So I think we've had a very good 2 hours. I don't know if there's anybody with a burning question because we've really, our time limit here is 2 hours. I think it's, it's been quite productive. If you have any questions, you can also just send those questions on to the speakers. Please also note, as you can see here, there is a survey that we are doing so that we are able to see if this was useful and for future reference for us to be able to also look at other topics. And as I said at the beginning, maybe let me just quickly show you some contacts that you can make with us in terms of so yeah, you for Pharma Connect, you can connect here at Nano at pharmaconnect.co. So you can also reach out and ask for slides and maybe the recording. You can go to the YouTube channel. Some of these, what we'll do is we'll edit some of these presentations and put them on the YouTube channel. So give us a few weeks. Otherwise, you can reach out to GA on the gaonline.org website. They will load the whole presentation as is. So give them a week and it should be there. There are also other presentations on that website. So we're really trying to create resources for researchers, for activists, for advocates. Keep in mind our next events. So the next one here is in July, which is a physical event. So we hope to see you in Krakow, everybody. And then in the second half of the year, we will have another webinar like this. So because you registered and we have your email addresses, we will put you on a mailing list. We will not share that with any third parties, but we will then be able to reach out with future events. So feel free to reach out. I think with that, I would like to thank our speakers. May I just ask that the speakers in one sentence give us a takeaway. We can start with Professor Matsabisa. One sentence or one word even. What's your take away message?
Thank you so much.
You're
David.
done. That's your sentence.
I've not started. I think there is an opportunity, for the development of African traditional medicines, and the science is there. But we just need, I think, to get, I think, our regulatory, I think, aspects and our manufacturing, I think, up to scratch. Thank you so much.
Yes, and regulators are our friends, so we are all on one side. And I think this should really be about access to medicine. And I think all of us understand that that is very important. But also it's about economic development, because I liked this point that you made to say that, agriculture and the herbal medicine sector go hand in hand. So therefore, we need to be able to think about this in a broader sense, to say, if we want development to come to Africa, then these two are twins, and we need to see how we can work on building this industry, because it's a value chain, right? Thank you. Dr. Wilcox?
Yes, thank you very much. I've enjoyed the meeting very much. Well, there are so many things to take away. I would say, talking about guidelines, WHO already worked on guidelines for clinical trials of African traditional medicines. WHO Afro, over 20 years ago now, prepared some guidelines, so it might be worth revisiting those. I mean, I think let's work together. I think collaboration is the name of the game. I think perhaps one issue is that people try to sort of keep within a very narrow team or one-man band, and that doesn't work for clinical trials. You need to be collaborative. You need to have multidisciplinary teams, even international collaborations. So let's collaborate, and I think that will help everyone to move forwards.
Thank you very much. Yeah, so guidelines exist, but they're not being taken up by the regulators. And I think what we need to do is to maybe reimagine those and also include the regulators in drafting guidelines that are relevant. So
Yeah.
I take your point, and I think we've made this thing, this kind of resolution to say, out of these discussions, we should really be looking at how we can develop guidelines, adapt guidelines, and then lobby those guidelines to the relevant ears, as it were. So thanks for that, and I look forward.
I agree. And maybe if I can add sort of
Yes.
one other point, is that WHO is currently now preparing its traditional medicine strategy for the next 3 years. So it would be good to get involved in that as well.
Get involved,
and yes, try and get your things on the agenda.
Yeah, so it could be that maybe the next webinar we actually have WHO come through and work through some of those, the strategy, and of course get our inputs, because WHO actually belongs to member states, and we are the members of those states. So that's very important. Monsieur le Professeur, Sylvain?
Oui, thank you, moderator. Thank you so much for this opportunity. And I hope that for tomorrow, all the questions asked here will find a response tomorrow, like a specific guideline for drug clinical trials. Yeah, thank you again.
Thank you. Sika, final words?
Yes, well, I've enjoyed it really a lot, and it was great to see all of you. And yeah, I would just like to remind you that we take these questions and opportunities further. Let's come together, for example, in Krakow or online, and let's start the discussion really here. Thanks.
Okay, and I am going to finish this webinar with the famous or maybe infamous African proverb, seeing as in Africa we like to communicate with proverbs. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So I hope that this is a beginning of us going together so that we can really build this industry in Africa. We owe it to ourselves. And why are we building this industry? Because at the end of the day, it's about access to medicines, but it's also about livelihoods. And out of Africa, we know there are many things that have gone out into the world. So I thank you and goodbye.
Thank you all. Goodbye.